Hey there, Dina Falconi. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen. We are going to show you how to make a potent lemon balm infusion. What's amazing about lemon balm, I really do love lemon balm, and it is about calming us, about belly ache support, about immune support. It has antiviral activity. So we have an ally, a food and medicine herb ally in our midst that we can use just as an enjoyable, pleasant tasting beverage tea, but we can also tap it for its antiviral aspects, for its uplifting and calming qualities. It's considered an antidepressant, it's considered an uplifter, it's used for anxiety, it's a carminative, a digestive. So that means it helps us deal with anxious bellies. So we have a very fabulous herb, and I want to show you how to make this infusion with it. Now I'm going to show you two lemon balms that are here in front of me. This is from an herb supplier, and this is called Cut and Sifted, and this is dried lemon balm, cut and sifted. And then this is the lemon balm that I harvested from our wild garden, and this, you can see, is just much more whole. Its leaf is more intact, and so what we have here, it's the same amount of herb though, by weight. We have 1 ounce of lemon balm on this plate, and we have 1 ounce of lemon balm on that plate. What we have here too is primarily leaf that I've gathered, but we can also work with the flowering tops, which are also fabulous as they just start to bloom. So when I sniff what I've harvested and dried, it's much more fragrant than the lemon balm that I've purchased. Just so you know, still using lemon balm that you've purchased is still going to be good, but it's even more exciting to get out there and gather your own lemon balm. So that's what's in this plate. Now let's get to the making of the lemon balm infusion. The volatile compounds are what we're chasing, as well as some other chemical constituents. So we want to make sure that when we steep the lemon balm infusion, that we use a tight-fitting lid. So the recipe for this is between 1/2 ounce and 1 ounce of lemon balm dried to a quart of boiling water. And we're gonna let it steep for 30 minutes and up to 4 hours. So that is the range, that's the recipe range, 1/2 to 1 ounce of dry herb per quart of boiling water. And when I talk about handfuls with the cut and sifted, it's a good large handful that I'm going to use. And with my stuff, I'm going to have to crumble it up more to get it in the jar. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. It's super obvious. I want to talk about equipment though. And I appreciate the comments that we get on social media, on YouTube. Somebody said, what about heat hitting plastic? And it's true. I really don't like to be putting plastic around what I'm going to be drinking and eating when it's a hot fluid, and this will be very hot. So it is of concern. So you may choose not to use a plastic lid. This is a hard plastic, just so you know. It's a bit more stable than a softer plastic. You can also use the canning lid, which is metal, but it also has some rubber in it, which can have some toxicity, and the lining even inside of that metal. But those are two options, and more ideally, you'd maybe use something like this if you can get it, which is a ceramic teapot that has a lid, a tight-fitting lid, and you put a cork that is a wine cork that fits it, and you've created now a very tight lidded vessel to steep your herbs. So this is another option. Probably the least toxic, because you're not going to be using funny lids, and the cork from the wine bottle is very safe and inert, so we are good with that. But I am still going to demo it the way that I typically do it, which is with these plastic lids or the metal lid. And maybe for today I'll switch over to the metal lid. And let's do it now. Let's make this infusion. And I'm actually going to use the herbs from the supplier because I feel like they're less potent. So I want to use them up, and this stuff is going to last longer. So here I go, and I'm using 1 large handful of this lemon balm dried herb that's been cut and sifted. Actually, I'll add a little bit more. So what I've gotten here you know, I'm sharing with you this handful thing because this is approximately 3/4 of an ounce. It's the whole ounce is on the plate, and I'm okay with not using the whole ounce, and you can play with this, but generally, again, it's 1/2 ounce to 1 ounce of herb per quart of boiling water. And what I always do is I put a metal implement into the glass jar to keep it from cracking, meaning when we hit this with hot water, we moderate the heat away from the glass. I'm gonna grab my boiling water, which is behind me, pour it slowly into the jar. I want to move my beautiful leaves away over there. Okay, go. Fill it to the top. Remove the metal spoon. Fill it all the way up. And then I want to cap that. So we've got a nice seal. It doesn't have to be a seal like how we can, because we're not canning, but we just want to make sure that the volatile compounds in the lemon balm are going to be captured inside the jar. I'm just going to give it a little quick tip around. Be careful here. You don't want to be, you know, use a cloth when you're touching the glass. It's very hot. And now we will let it steep for 30 minutes. So, and then we can begin to drink it, or we can let it steep for up to 4 hours. The dosage is, and by the way, you would strain it just through a basic fine mesh tea strainer. Put that on the cup, strain it, press the leaves of any liquid, and then we're going to drink 1 8-ounce cup 2 or 3 times a day. That's the dosage. Let's talk about this, the gift of lemon balm again. We have an uplifting, calming, and immune supportive herb in our midst that is generally safe for most, from children to the elderly. We have this beautiful beverage tea that's also medicinal. By the way, lemon balm is also food-like, and we can make ice cream with it. And if you do want to check out more about lemon balm, I'll get to that in a moment. I want to share with you a couple of thoughts regarding contraindications. So lemon balm is something that many herbalists feel is perfectly safe for everyone for daily use, or maybe a few times a week. But other herbalists have concern around its use while you're pregnant, while nursing, while on thyroid medications, or when ingesting other central nervous system depressants. So it's important to go slowly with any new food or herb, check out how it makes you feel, and also discuss using it with your healthcare provider. Having said that, I feel generally that lemon balm is excellent for many, many people and can be used on a daily basis. But also, let's just talk about some other things. If you wanted to make lemon balm a little bit more immune stimulating, you could augment that by adding some elderberry to the formula, to the tea here. So what we have here is a lemon balm simple tea or simple infusion. And if you add elderberry, you're going to increase now the immune stimulating aspect of the tea. Let's say that you wanted to increase its relaxing qualities. You could add a little bit of chamomile and a little bit of linden to this lemon balm. That's called compounding. So you're combining herbs to create a formula. But in this case, we have this lemon balm infusion or strong steep tea that is a simple of lemon balm. And so if you would like more about lemon balm, we invite you to get our free mini lesson called Lemon Balm Love, and it's over at lemonbalmlove.com. If you've enjoyed this, check out more of our videos as well. See you next time.